Welcome back to the Eurozone. We have another week of depressing news from Gaza to report on. As always, the genocide only seems to get more and more intense, and that is also the trend this week. I am joined by Ruben from Stichting Handala, an Amsterdam-based organization trying to raise money for people in Palestine to get food, and also doing a lot of legal advocacy for both people here in Amsterdam affected by the Israeli lobby, but also for Palestine in general, I believe. If you want to hear more about Ruben, the work he's doing, and about European politics when it comes to Palestine and imperialism, you can check out a lot of the other episodes we have.
Yeah.
With that said, Ruben, take it away. What's been happening most recently in Gaza?
Yeah, so it's not been getting a lot of mainstream attention, I guess. It's being mentioned, but if you look at the reporting, I mainly look at reporting from NOS to get the gist of what mainstream media is reporting, and then it's just like a daily report of 50 people died. But they are not giving any kind of illustrative examples. They are not really showing images, and they are presenting a false image because they are reporting on the reported deaths. And we know that at this time, actually, the amount of deaths by malnutrition, it's rising. And also, without stop, the people are being killed at the 8 centers. But then we also see the extreme intensification of destruction and bombardments in the north, especially Gaza City.
Yeah.
Where right now the Israeli military is really getting to the center of the city.
Yeah. There was a question at some point being raised by some of the more military-focused analysts that I follow, which is how many resources does Israel have left to continue the bombardment and explosive destruction of Gaza when it comes to tank, armored vehicles, shelling, and bombs dropped by Air Force as well, by airplane. And it seems like they were starting to face some logistical issues from the amount of resources they have spent and has been bogged down in this war. And what I'm hearing now is that they're using this new form of car bombs, essentially, where they are filling vehicles to the brim with explosives and then driving them into dense urban areas, right?
Yeah. So the first report about this kind of weapon being used is already, maybe almost a year already, but maybe a little less, when they were used around hospitals. And there was a famous video of a woman recording from a hospital window. And we saw, a remote controlled kind of vehicle being put in position and being detonated from a distance with no human inside close by, and just, destroy large parts of streets, like really big explosions.
Yeah, I think so. So the technology aspect of it's just a car bomb that is remote controlled.
Yeah.
And you can pack a lot more explosives into it than your usual bomb. And this is really like the bunker busters that they were dropping. I think it's like something like 500-pound bunker busters or whatever. Even those were not intense enough for the Israelis. So now they're using these vehicle explosions that can really bring down an entire neighborhood block in one go. And the reporting is that the bomb, the explosion from these car bombs are so intense, so loud that people in Israel thought that they were under attack because it just sends such an intense shockwave.
Yeah, and you can see the shockwave as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I believe you're talking about video as well, right?
Yeah.
So what is the Israeli goal with this? Are they pivoting in any way, or is it just an increase in the savagery for the sake of the continuation of the genocide?
There is some thought behind it, and actually you mentioning resources is a really great point, I think, to this as well, because what they are using is old decommissioned military vehicles that they
Right.
just stack with explosives and some remote controls. So
Right.
this must be really cheap and really
Right.
easy,
Right.
and really destructive as well. And right now they know that there is no journalist left in Gaza City almost, and they can do this without being seen. So previously they wouldn't have been able to do this because
Yeah.
there would be too many eyes. But now that the eyes are gone, they can just use dirty bombs. I guess that's what they're
Yeah.
doing, just throwing any kind of explosive for maximum destruction. And the maximum destruction, it does have a purpose because they just want to bulldoze it and build new buildings. That's
Right.
what they want to do.
to replace everything there.
Yeah.
Do you think this is also in some ways a response to the pressure coming from outside, with a lot of countries recognizing Palestine now, and a lot of or the UN inquiry also determining that this is a genocide?
Well, there is some sense that how Netanyahu put it, they need to finish the job.
Right. They have a timeline now.
And the pressure is maybe putting some feeling in them that they cannot go on like this for a lot longer. So everything they have to do it now.
Right. Right. And I think there's also a bit of some of these blockades coming in. I believe Spain is stopping shipping of arms. There is also Turkey, which we'll talk about in a bit. And the designation of it being a genocide means that European states, at least in theory, have to stop sending arms to Israel, right?
Yeah.
So, or not in theory, legally. I'm not saying they will do it, but in theory, they legally have to.
That's one of the things also that was explicitly communicated with this report as well, that like continuing to support this means complicity.
Yeah. So they might be feeling the pressure, and both in terms of just political pressure, but also like forcing the timeline to close a bit. But they also, I think, are feeling the pressure of not having the resources, which goes hand in hand with the political pressure. So that is their response.
The pressure on the resources is definitely putting a lot more pressure than the diplomatic political pressure, because they don't really care about that a lot.
Yeah. But when you even have people like Donald Trump coming out and saying that this needs to end soon, I know that's very vague, but still that signals to Israel that they could lose some material support eventually, right?
Yeah.
Especially if countries like the US want to kickstart their own fascist campaigns internally. I think they'll need a lot of those resources for their own population, right?
Yeah.